Hi, we are starting new series in Generative AI, that is Learn Generative AI in 5 minutes. Today, let me explain about agenda what we are going to cover in this series. We will start with the data to big data transformation, then machine learning, then hands-on machine learning, deep learning algorithms, how generative AI works and what are the models in generative AI, and hands-on in generative AI, agentic AI, hands-on on agentic AI, and future of generative AI and generative AI use cases, our generative AI products. First, let's start with how data has been transformed to big data. So we all know that data is nothing but information, where we have a numerical data, transactional data, then historical data. So most of the cases we worked with limited amount of data 20, 30 years before. Now every product, every service, every organization is getting connected to digital world. Every person also connected to digital world. That is where we are getting a huge amount of data, variety of data, that is images, video, audio and text data. That data we call it as big data. That data we call it as big data. So wherever we see high volume, high velocity and different variety, that data we call it as a big data. Let's see how big data is growing day by day. So by 2025, end of this year, we are going to see 200 zettabyte of data. By 2026, we are going to see 300 zettabyte of data. By 2027, we are going to see 400 zettabyte of data. 2029, 500 to 600 zettabyte of data. By 2030, we are going to see 800 zettabyte of data across the globe. Every 18 months, data is getting doubled. So you can see how big data or opportunities are going to be there in the data world. Okay, this is where we are focusing on generative AI. So, but how do I understand big data size in layman terms? That is, 1 zettabyte is equal to 1 CD to every person in the world. Imagine how many CDs are required to distribute to people across the globe. There are billions of people. So this is where a lot of new job opportunities are already created to work on this big data. Okay. So now let's see how the artificial intelligence has become more famous now. The artificial intelligence, it is not a new technology. It is a very old technology, very old concept, 1950s concept, 1950s technology. But why it has become so famous now? It all happens because of big data, variety of data, high volume data, high velocity of data. But how are we going to make objects as intelligent objects? See, every human being is trying to transform the intelligence to objects by writing algorithms. So whatever object we see in future is going to talk to another object, or one object will talk to human, human will talk to another object. That is possible with the help of artificial intelligence. But how are we going to achieve artificial intelligence? That is with the help of machine learning algorithms. Once you write a machine learning algorithm and run that machine learning algorithm against the data, that becomes a model. That machine learning model can be used for different requirements or different purposes. That becomes artificial intelligence.